The Angels 2014. The Angels, world champions.
Oh, and first pitch crushing.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield podcast and the network, the Baseball Network, with your host, Todd Fox, and the other host of the show,
Artie Moreno.
penny pitcher himself, Artie Moreno.
There you go. Kurt Suzuki loving Artie Moreno.
All right. So coming to you live from Arizona, of course, that is Artie Moreno.
Yes. These are my favorite jerseys. I took them off the backs of the players that wore them.
Or from their lockers, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And congratulations on winning that lawsuit, Artie, against the city. They dropped the charges. You were not found in fault?
They dropped half the charges, right? Well, they dropped that. Now he has to go through the state level.
Yes, but he got out of the city one, which is important. So
I mean, that was going to be – I feel like that was kind of the obvious one.
Mm-hmm. And we may touch on that later in the episode. But what are we getting into this episode, Artie?
I mean, spring training started, man.
Yes.
Spring training. We're like a week in. We're getting near the end. We got another week left, and I mean, spring training will essentially be over.
Yeah, and so far, fingers crossed, you haven't seen any injuries yet. We were kind of
You jinxed it. You jinxed it already.
Ah, damn it! I'm talking about the league, though. I was gonna say the league, not the Angels.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The only thing that's injured is Cody Ballinger's pride.
Oh.
Dude, you want to look at a freaking fish out of water. Watch Cody Ballinger swinging the bat. The guy can't hit, water if he fell off a ship.
Do you have the stats? Is it
I can find him. I can find him real quick.
Because there was a jaw-dropping stat I heard. I just want to make sure I got it correct.
It was something like he had struck out like 14 out of like 19 times. It was something like that.
Yeah, he has not hit the broadside of a barn at all. He's been in the middle of the Atlantic and not found the ocean. You can throw in any cliche you want, and he's been absolutely terrible.
I nailed that 5 hours ago. So it might have changed since then, but he had struck out 14 out of 19 at best.
God damn, that's hard to do, man. That is really hard.
So here's the thing with Cody Ballinger, and actually we were talking about it today with a couple of my friends and I. Mm-hmm. So Cody Ballinger is a pull hitter, pulls the heck out of the ball.
Absolutely.
And the way he steps, he steps like towards first base when he's swinging. So when he does that, like all of a sudden, pitch down the middle is now outside because of the way he steps and he moves his body. Mm-hmm. So teams have just kind of figured out, well, hey, since he likes to pull the ball, just pitch him on the outside.
Yeah, and these pitchers are really good, so they're going to hit their spots, and if they hit their spots, he's going to strike out an awful lot. And if you notice, before what you just brought up, he wasn't hitting the slider all that good either. So, I mean, those sliders down and in, he was whiffing like no tomorrow. So you could have like a Chris Davis kind of year with him. So
I mean, considering the fact that he's still a younger player, for his sake, I sure hope not. I mean, obviously, I'm not ever cheering for the Dodgers, but I mean, yikes! Can you imagine if he has just a Chris Davis downfall?
It would be crazy, but here's the thing, though, with him on a team like that, they're already projected to have one of the best lineups in all of baseball, if not the best. If a guy has a massive hole in his swing, there's plenty of players through that farm system and on the bench that'll gladly take his spot. So I don't think the Dodgers will be hurting more than it'll be Bellinger not being able to make his way back into the lineup. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean, the crazy thing with Bellinger is the simple fact that he was getting compared to Mike Trout for years, right? He's the next Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the next big thing and everything. And then, falling off. He fell off last year and didn't come on, I think, until September.
A lot of their players fell off last year.
Yeah, and he had
Mookie was the same thing.
Yeah, he had a pretty good postseason, though. He was pretty legit. I can't talk about Bellinger in the postseason. He came through pretty good, like what's his name, Chris Taylor as well.
Yeah, Chris Taylor was great for them. So last year, minus 1.5 WAR, 52 hits, 10 home runs, batted 165.
Yeah, not good.
165.
Now, can I bring up something random that we didn't talk about in the pre-show and everything? Since we're on the Dodgers, real quick, we're gonna get into the Angels, so don't stress, Angels fans. But
People are like, and clicking out.
yeah. I just wanted to compare the two PR groups, the Angels versus the Dodgers, and where the Dodgers are obviously winning. We went through the Angels giveaways and promotions, and they have 3 bobbleheads this year that they're going to give out. All 3 are Shohei Otani's, including a Shohei Otani snow globe. And they also
Okay,
have,
but the snow globe is a dope idea. I mean,
guess.
come on. Don't tell me you wouldn't be lit about a Shohei Otani snow globe. I'll give him that because at least it's out of the box.
Well, it is out of the box, but I mean, everything else is like the similar stuff. So there's like really no imagination.
And I'll give them one free pass on the Otani One Kenobi bobbleheads from Star Wars Night because they were supposed to do those in 2019. So they've just been sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Oh, jeez. So,
or the conference center, underneath the right field seats, most likely.
So that you have that compared to what the Dodgers are doing. The Dodgers, granted, they copied the Angels with the kids run the bases thing. They brought in, they have all kinds of like different nationality nights, like Filipino night, Latin night, whatever night. And then they also had, which they have 7 bobblehead giveaways, 4 current players. What really chapped my ass and I feel really envious of the Dodgers PR staff is they actually honored 3 former players, Kurt Gibson, I forgot who the other, Don Drysdale, and there was another player that they have from back in the day. And that's teaching your fans about the history of the game through bobbleheads or whatever like that, because I'm sure they're going to show like a highlight reel of that player. And that's something the Angels drop the ball on every single year leading up to this one. And then the one slap in the face of the Angels fans, I think that's even the worst, is they have only one day dedicated to 2002 Angels, and that's on a Wednesday. And it's like a what is it called? Long sleeve.
It's a t-shirt, yeah.
Yeah, pullover shirt. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, our promotion staff has kind of dropped the ball over the last couple of years. I mean, this would have been a really good year to maybe just do like a couple of bobbleheads based on the 20th anniversary team. I mean, it would have been really cool. Even like one from like each series or like one from each World Series win. So, 4 of them. You'll have you can have a John Lackey, a Francisco Rodriguez, obviously, a Spezio.
Yeah, you could have had a Spezio with the one where he's like laying out his bat, making contact with that 3-run homer.
Yeah.
You could have had a Troy Gloss MVP of the World Series one. You could have had a David Eckstein wearing the cowboy hat. All kinds of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of good ideas you could have came up with, but no.
God, how about an Artie Moreno bobblehead? Dude, how many do you think would just be like smashed in the parking lot?
That's
one of them.
Dude. What's that tradition? The wedding tradition where they step on the glass?
Opa!
Yeah, there you go. It'd be a bunch of Opa all over.
Well, please do that at my wedding. I won't tell anybody that you did it. That it was your idea. Just be like, "Oh no, Opa! Oh, I dropped it."
Yeah, then your wife's gonna be like, "We have to pay for that afterwards." Oops.
I'm sorry.
It was Todd's idea.
Yeah, he's paying for it.
Yeah, that's my contribution.
There you go. Who needs the honeymoon fund?
There you go. All right, well, let's get into it. That was just my little rant about the PR staff. I was very disappointed with that. What do you want to get started with here tonight?
Let's start off with just like the beginning of spring training. Yeah, beginning of spring training.
Okay, so the beginning of spring training was so far it's been abbreviated. And, we pushed the first week of the season back. So that series is going to start at the end of the season. So now instead of starting on the road, which we always do, and it was a tradition in Oakland, it's now going to be at home against Houston. And so we have that to look forward to. But right now, minor leagues have started. We've seen Noah pitch at least once. I think he's pitching tomorrow against Oakland. We've seen a couple starts by Lorenzen. We saw one by Sandoval today. Suarez has made an appearance, and Detmers has. So what are your takes on the rotation so far coming out the gates?
So Michael Lorenzen, the very first game impressed me. Second game, not so much. I don't want to say he was horrible, but you can definitely tell he was working on a couple of different things. I know he said he was working on his breaking pitches. And I think he's going to have to work on, stretching himself out. He hasn't started in a long time. Big adjustment from starting to relieving. Huge adjustment. Let me see. Patrick Sandoval, not that great today, but he is coming off an injury, so I'll give him a pass.
Mhm.
Suarez has looked great.
Mhm.
Reed Detmers has looked pretty good.
His curveball looked outstanding.
Yes,
I like
curveball was top notch. His breaking pitches in general, it
Mhm.
looked great. But I've been pretty happy with what I saw. Even Otani in the one game he pitched.
Oh yeah, sorry, Otani got out there too. Yeah, that's the thing that we're hoping that the starting pitching is going to live it up, because right now when we talked about the Dodgers off the start, they're projected to have obviously one of the best lineups in baseball. The Angels have been given the moniker of possibly having the best bullpen if they all stay healthy and play up to capability in the American League and maybe in all of baseball. So, with that being said, if you can get good starts from Sandoval and Otani and Noah and everyone else who's in the rotation, quite frankly, you have a good chance of winning, getting it into the 5th or 6th innings. Your thoughts? Do you think the Angels are going to play it like you think Joe Maddon's and Matt Wise now? That's not the interim coach anymore. Now he's the lead dude as pitching coach. Do you think they're going to let these guys go more than 6-7 innings to start the year? Or you think they're going to ease them into it, and we're still going to see the bullpen play heavy in April?
Well, Otani is only supposed to throw about 90 pitches by opening day, so I would imagine it's going to be a pretty decent benchmark for the start of the season for everybody. So 90 pitches, probably the first start or two would be my guess. So in April, we will see quite a bit of bullpen games.
Okay, makes sense. Do you think the other teams are going to know that scouting report and try to get these guys to throw a lot of pitches early? Because last couple seasons, that's been the issue. When the Angels are good with managing their pitches, obviously things are they have a better chance of winning. But for right now, I mean, that's going to be key, right, for the Angels to get the most out of maximize their pitch count, basically.
Yeah, but that falls on the pitchers, right? Throw strikes, competitive pitches, make your pitch so that you force contact, especially with the defense. I don't know what's wrong with me right now.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
I'm struggling to talk.
That's not the computer. That's not the computer.
But yeah, the defense is going to be pretty stellar in theory.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can force the defense to, get them out of those jams, they won't have to throw 10 or 15 extra pitches, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys who are going to go out there with, free reins to start the year.
Gotcha.
Especially, Thor coming off of a, major injury in 2019. Sandoval was hurt last year. I mean, Suarez might be kind of the lone exception.
Yeah, probably the healthiest guy out of that rotation.
Yeah, and then you also got Lorenzen, who hasn't been a starter, in years. Hasn't been a starter since Obama was in office. I mean, that'll put it into perspective for you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
that puts it into perspective for you.
It's been a while. Do you think out the gates this team can find its way? Because right now with all those bullpen pieces, we're still on the fence with some of our favorites if they're going to make the opening day roster. Do you think that bullpen has already gotten basically their roles, or is it going to be something where they're going to be trial and error off the bat to see who fits where? Besides Iglesias, of course.
For the record, it seemed like 2015 was the last time Lorenzen was a starter.
Damn.
Yeah, I thought that was the number. I didn't want to say it until I could confirm it. But yeah, 2015 seems like it was the number. Let me think. So Iglesias is obviously in. Tepera's in. Archie Bradley's going to be in. Austin Warren's in.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Mayers is probably in.
Quijada, the lefty.
Yeah, I keep hearing his name.
I think they need a lefty out of that pen, and along with Loop.
But he got lit. He got lit up.
Okay.
Quijada, but I mean, it sounds like he seems like he's a pretty safe bet. And yeah, Loop is also another guy. So we're talking 7-8 guys already.
Well, are they going with the extra roster spot this year, or is that
28? Yeah, to start the year.
Okay, so that would give a shot maybe to our boy Buttrey.
Maybe, but Buttrey has only been playing B games.
Oh, B games right now. Okay, do you think they're gonna move him up at some point, or Because I want to say, because I was going to ask you, I haven't seen him out there yet, and hopefully we can get him, some major league, maybe against the Dodgers. He can face the Dodgers hitters.
So he's right now on a probation period. So he's technically not even on the 40-man.
Okay.
So his probation period should be ending in a couple of days here. So it'll be sometime this week. So the Angels have to decide if they're going to reactivate him on the 40-man. So they obviously have to make a move, DFA somebody else, or add somebody to the 60-man or the 60-day IL. Gosh, who's the pitcher? Chris Coswell or something like that.
Mhm.
I believe he's injured right now. They're saying he was shut down. So if it's a season-ending situation, well, then they could just put him on the 60-man. That automatically opens up a 60-day. I keep saying 60-man, and that opens up a spot for Ty. So we'll see, or they're going to have to DFA someone.
Does Ty have an option to go down?
I believe he does. If memory serves correctly, he still has either one or two. I don't think they used any of his options when he was an Angel because he retired before they sent him down last year.
That's true. That's true.
And I think he made his major league debut with the Angels, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he wasn't down in the minors, so
No, and I don't think he was on the Red Sox ever, major league team. And I could very well be wrong about that.
I hope Ty, if anything worse comes to worse, he just gets gets sent down for like a couple weeks and then he can be brought up.
He'd have to clear waivers.
He'd have to clear waivers even though he would be sent down?
Well, yeah, because they'd have to add him to the 40-man.
Oh, that's
They
right.
have to add him to the 40-man.
Okay.
And if they choose to DFA him because they want to send him to the 40-man, he has to clear waivers.
And that's what sucked about losing Packy. Packy, I thought there was a chance, but you called it. You said he's not going to clear waivers. Someone's going to take a shot at him, and unfortunately, it was St. Louis. So,
For the record, it seems like Ty Buttrey made his debut in 2017 with the Red Sox, at least according to Google.
all right.
But it's something I don't know. But yeah, no, I was with you. I think there was other guys who I would have picked over Packy.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's all hearsay, right? I mean, Packy Nunn was only touching mid-80s last year.
He didn't have dominating stuff, but he had a lot of movement at least. So, I mean,
it might have been a good bullpen arm, but who knows if he's going to be able to hang out as a starter.
Well, we can ask him next time he comes on. Oh, okay. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. As we get into the lineup, is there any no pun intended, hit and miss players that you've seen so far or guys that you've raised an eyebrow in a good way or raised an eyebrow in a bad way?
Michael Stefanik in a good way.
Okay.
He's had a great spring so far.
He has.
But time will tell. Is he a 4A guy or is he a major leaguer?
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about?
Look what happened last year with Rojas. Same thing, right?
Rojas had flashes of brilliance, but then he just could not stay either healthy or consistent. So that was kind of frustrating.
That's kind of been our thing with prospects lately, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely one that maybe. I know Ortiz has been a good eyebrow for me. Like I've raised an eyebrow and I've been like, oh, okay, this guy's. He's looking like if there's an injury down the stretch or we see a September call up, that he would definitely be a player that they would call up. I would believe he's come on like fire.
David McKinnon in the B games hit a triple today.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
In front of Perry.
Oh, wow. Well, it just depends if Perry was sober while he saw that. He might not have been.
I don't know. I think Perry's normally sober.
Oh, I'm thinking Artie. My bad. No, Perry. Okay, yeah. If he's in front of Perry, then that's a good thing, obviously.
Yeah, I think Perry. How do you feel about Perry so far? Like this offseason, now that the bullpen pieces have slowly started to come in.
Okay, I think like every other fan, I was pissed off because again, we started so good in free agency, but then we hit a big time lull, and it went. We talked about it last week on the show, the ups and downs of the offseason, including the CBA. So I think there's some things you can give them a pass for. But then I've also sat back and when they talk about, okay, the Otani factor for the next season, possibly getting an extension or a new contract. And it makes sense that he can only spend so much. But then there's also the realm where you missed on players that were right there that you could have gotten for the prices of other players you picked up. But overall, I've loved what he's done. I think the minor leagues are very encouraging. They're stacked. We got players that are pushing the major league players, and then the major league roster outside of the catching position is really, really good. I'm feeling really confident about this season, and I like where Perry's taking the team.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, no matter where you look in the diamond there's some depth coming up.
Mm-hmm.
There's either guys at AAA trying to fight their way in, or, single A, double A. There's the guys who have potential, the Jeremiah Jacksons who were, single A last year, Jordan Adams. There's pieces that are coming up.
Mm-hmm. There is. And so it's good. And it makes sense too. We have, I think it's 9 players on 1-year deals. So I think next off season, no matter who's on the free agent list, it's going to be when are we going to get the Otani deal done, because that's going to dictate the future of this team. It just is. You already got 2 other massive contracts on this one. Upton money comes off next year. You're really going to have to see what happens with adding that 3rd big contract, which would be going alongside of Rendon and Trout.
Let me ask you this. So if Otani decides he doesn't want to re-sign here, does he get traded this offseason?
I think depending on what he did, let's just say Otani puts up 45 and 120 RBIs and a 300 average or just below it.
Okay.
And out of his camp, you've exhausted everything through his translator or whatever that, hey, we really want to resign you, but he's like, no, I want to play it out till I get to free agency. If you can't, as an organization, take that risk on losing him, I think you have to try to go out and trade him. I think you'd have to, as much as it would hurt the franchise and everything, I think you'd have to turn around and be like, look, we're not going to get anything if he walks. I think that unless a team really blows us away with a great deal. And what would you equivalent to getting a 2-way player like him? I mean, what would you expect back?
What I'm saying is for a guy like Otani, even if it's just for a year, you could get a lot.
Yeah, but what could you get? You know what I mean? Like, because then again, I mean, look, teams know you're on the hook for, you're trying to get rid of them. So they know you're desperate, but you also know you can't let him go for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend, man, because you have the DH now, universal DH.
Mm-hmm.
And, every team needs pitching, right? Almost every team always needs pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 players.
That's true. And then
this is a franchise changing player.
Yeah, and it's an Otani rule too with the Angels this year where he can stay in the game instead of being pulled. So that means if he has a shitty start like he did in New York, couldn't get out of the first inning, he's not pulled for the entire game. He's still in your lineup to help you come back.
Yeah, I mean I love that rule because it helps us.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you'd have to get a lot, but I don't think there's going to be any Angels fan who would be against trading him if he was like, I'm going to go to free agency. It's just not worth the risk.
Mm-hmm.
I want Otani to stay here.
Absolutely. I think we all.
But, I mean, do you want to risk it? What if we lose him for nothing? I mean, I'd rather lose him for a year, not get him back anyway, or maybe at least try to get him back in free agency and, get 4 to 5 major league ready players because you're probably going to get a haul for him.
That's true. You're going to get a good haul. You probably get 2 major league ready players or already guys on a team, and then you could pick up 3 really prospects that are right there. Or 2.
Well, it'll kind of depend too on it because I mean, even we're not talking like a year in the future. A lot can change. Like there might be a lot of teams out there who, for instance, let's just say the Orioles. Maybe they're closer all of a sudden, so maybe they're willing to, no, they wouldn't be like a year away though. You're probably looking at a team like the Blue Jays.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, you're going to admit, a team like the Blue Jays who, let's just say I think honestly, so my pick for the AL this year, I think the Blue Jays are going to make it out of the American League.
Wow.
To the World Series.
Okay.
That's kind of my pick. So if they lose this year, they don't make it deep into the playoffs or they don't win the World Series, I can see them going for a guy like Otani.
Have you seen that team though? Their overall lineup and what they have to offer as a lineup going into opening day. And if you look at what they have to face in the American League East all the time with the Rays, with the Red Sox, and with the Yankees. Potentially, you could see four of those teams, all four of them making the postseason, or at least three of them. One team's going to be the odd man out. It's a scary team, dude. It's
absolutely.
And you look at their rotation, it's Hyunjin Ryu, Jose Barrios, Kevin Gossman, Alex Manoah, and UC Kikuchi. Imagine throwing Shohei in that lineup. That
video game stuff.
It is video game stuff. Toronto is usually always putting together some sort of like video game offense, and now they've got the pitching. And so the catchers aren't all that great. You got Jansen, McGuire, Alejandro, I think is going to be your start, Kirk Alejandro. But first base, you got Guerrero. Second base, you got Biggio. Third base, you got Matt Chapman. And then you got shortstop.
Who just got extended, by the way.
Yeah. Shortstop, you got Bo Bichette. Left field, you got Gary Al Jr., plus Ramil Tapia, who's pretty good from Colorado.
Yep.
You got George Springer in center. And then you got Kevin Biggio and also Teoscar Hernandez in right field, along with Guerrero, who'll be platooning out there. That's a sick
Tapia also.
Yeah, that's a sick lineup, dude.
I know. They're going to be good.
Yeah, so I'm right there to tell you I agree with your pick with Toronto, but I'm still putting a little bit of my money on Chicago to make it out of the AL. I think La Russa gets those boys back, but we'll see.
He didn't do it last year.
That's true.
They had a good team last year.
I think they're just too good to not win that division again. But I would love to see a Chicago Toronto ALCS. I'm just saying.
Hey, that'd be fun. I'd be in on that.
Be a good one.
Maybe it'll have to be when I go to Chicago. I'll try to plan the trip around that.
There you go, man. Maybe you can get me a ticket and I'll fly out there too, man. That'd be nice.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, catch a game together. Okay, thoughts on a couple guys in the bullpen real quick. Okay, we already named guys that were going to make it. What about your thoughts on Jimmy Hergut, who came on late last season, and then AJ Ramos, who was a late addition to the bullpen? Do you think those guys get a spot?
I don't think so. I think Ramos is he got lit up, right? This weekend? Saturday?
Yeah, he didn't perform all that great.
So, as of right now, he's probably an odd man out. I think he's on a minor league deal, though.
Yeah, he is. He can return to the minors.
Yeah, he might hang around, maybe come back later. Hergut, I don't think he's going to make it. He's the odd man out.
Okay, once.
He has a chance over Quijada, but, like you said, they need a lefty. Yeah. Besides Loop. You need another lefty to kind of break it up.
Yeah, or pitch some middle innings.
Especially with that those extra 2 roster spots, because, normally you have 26, but you're going to have 28 for a couple weeks. So I would imagine they want extra pitching.
True.
Maybe that's where Buttrey comes in.
Yeah,
hopefully.
He could sneak in with, you never know.
But, like I said, it's going to be really unlikely to me that they let Buttrey basically not play during spring training and major league games, and he just goes straight to the show.
True.
He's probably going to go to AAA for a little bit.
Now, what's your thoughts on the catcher's position? Theis has been getting a lot of at-bats here.
Kurt Suzuki for MVP.
He's calling it. So Toronto's his World Series opponent that's going to make it there from the American League. And Kurt Suzuki is your AL MVP. Got it.
Okay, but the Blue Jays is not crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I could say that and not get left out of the building. People are like, okay. Yeah, the Kurt Suzuki thing, no, I'm totally joking.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been relevant 10 years ago. But.
Here's my inner grill master. DFA.
Well, do you think?
Where's my socks?
The Grill Master socks. Dude, we should sell those Grill Master socks with the Halos of the Infield logo on the side.
How used?
Well, we could you know how you throw bleach on things and it'll leave spots, we could make them.
It'll be like, how about some crusty yogurt?
Oh. The crispy socks of the grill master.
Hey, autographed.
Yeah, there you go. Look what he's been grilling up, literally.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, that's disgusting. All right, let's keep it to baseball. So,
And PG.
yeah, exactly.
This
So
is the family family show.
supposedly. So Max got extended. So kudos to him. He got extended for a nice little deal. But that leaves the backup position, in my opinion, wide open. Kurt hasn't had too many at-bats. Matt has been showcased a lot more. Do you think there's an opportunity here for Matt to steal? I mean, there's not this isn't a regular spring training, so I doubt it, but Kurt should make the opening day roster, right?
Sam Blum made it very clear today that Kurt Suzuki is the backup catcher.
Okay.
And that was per the organization.
Okay. So with that being said, in your mind, I would like a prediction. How many months before we see Theis? Let's just say Kurt's healthy and remains a backup between Stassi. Stassi's your major player right here. How long a leash do they give Kurt before they bring in a Theis that's maybe not tearing it up, Brandon Wood style in the minors, but he's doing numbers?
That's going to depend on why they re-signed Kurt Suzuki. Once again, is it because it was requested by Otani, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their dynamic is. But, if this is just like a straight-up situation, I don't think he makes it too far past the All-Star break.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I think winning or losing, I just don't see him staying on the roster all year. I just don't, dude. I think it was one of those feel-good signings. I don't think it was, or because he had relationships with somebody too. I just don't think it was because of what Kurt brings to the table. I think we know what he's
No way. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, okay. Certain players that are on the bubble, obviously. There's 4 that are dealing for maybe 1 spot, maybe 2 spots that are on the overall roster in the infield. Actually, there's 6 players. I want your thoughts on who's going to make it. Like, if you had to pick 2 out of the 6, which ones would you pick?
Okay.
Matt Duffy, Louis Renifo, Andrew Velasquez, Tyler Wade, Jack Mayfield, or Jose Rojas?
Tyler Wade and Matt Duffy.
Okay. I've seen good production from both those guys here so far in spring.
Yeah, I just, Matt Duffy is versatile. He's been there before. Has a good relationship with Madden.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade's just fast. He has an element of the game. We can use that. We don't have a lot of speed right now. I'm not seeing that over in Hefo. I'm just not. I mean, his at-bats aren't too sharp. Some mistakes in the field. I'm just not sold on him.
I think a lot of Angel fans will agree with you, Fernando. I think a lot of us, including myself, have wanted him gone since the trade should have went to the Dodgers, because he proved last year coming back. I think that should have gave him a chip on his shoulder, and he just did not play well at all last year. He wasn't even streaky, so I don't see.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't see any upside with him. Jack Mayfield, does he have options to go down, or is he a guy that we would have to release? Okay, good. Okay, because that's a guy. Yes, Wade, I'm totally 100% with you. But out of the other players, I think Mayfield would be an important player to really keep close to the major league roster if possible.
He was very streaky, super streaky. When he was hot. And when he wasn't, he's just kind of a fill-in out infielder.
Well, do you think with a full lineup, he should be a better hitter, like batting lower in the lineup?
I don't know. I mean, I need to see his at-bats. I haven't gotten to see too much of him during the spring training so far. I know he's played, but I just, these games are like 4 hours long.
Yeah, with all the interchangeable players and things.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's hard to, with how much I'm on the road, to watch the entire game. So I haven't gotten to watch too much of him or Jose Rojas.
Yeah, Rojas has played a bit. I've been impressed now as we move to the outfield with our boy Adele. Adele's had a really nice spring. He's had a couple huge home runs, and
absolutely, he's killing it.
He looks better in the outfield. What are your predictions for him just to get a little ahead of ourselves, do you think he's going to have a really nice season where he's up there all year just banging away?
Yeah, he's a major leaguer if he's healthy. I think he's earned his spot in the sense of like the organization trusts him with that role now.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Brandon Marsh. I think he earned his spot last year. Like bearing any injuries or something really going south, I don't think any of them are going back down for a long period of time.
That's good. That's good to hear.
What do you think? I mean, do you realistically think that they would send either of them down right now?
I don't think you can. I think you kind of could have justified it last year with Marsh's batting average because Adele was pretty damn consistent and he came through and his power just got better and better as the season went on. But Marsh really started to hit a corner like late August, early September where he was starting to hit because we knew defensively he could play. And I liked him in that 1 or 2 spot because as a leadoff or / setup guy, he was getting on base a lot better than Fletcher was towards the end of that season. So I'm hoping I mean, I could see him up here all year, but I'm hoping he could stay, with better numbers and showcase himself because he's a hell of a player. He really is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're both fun to watch, especially together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They seem to be like a really good package. You know, when they're both up, they seem to have a lot more fun, and they seem to be a lot more loose, which seems to help Joe a lot.
Exactly. And speaking of Joe came out today and said that Shohei Otani, especially for the beginning of the season, is going to be your leadoff hitter. Agree or disagree with that?
Disagree. I don't like it.
Why not?
I think Otani is really good at driving in runs and having productive at bats in that capacity.
Okay. Now I'm sorry. You have more thoughts on
that? No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, are you a proponent as well when Socha used to do it and Madden did it his first year, putting Trout second? Do you like that or no?
I've always liked Trout third.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So if it was me and I was making the lineup, I'm going Adele, Rendon, Trout, Otani, Walsh.
Okay.
Adele brings the speed. Rendon is apparently Tony Two Bags. So if that comes back to life, shout out to Nats fan, then you can potentially already score a run right there. You know, Adele draws a walk, bunts, gets on base. He can go from first to home easily because he's fast, very fast. Rendon gets a double. All of a sudden, the game's 1-0 with Mike Trout coming up to bat third.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I was actually going to go with Marsh leadoff, Adele second, Trout third, Otani 4, and then you go 5th Rendon,
okay,
6th Walsh. And then and then you go who am I leaving out? 7 Stassi.
Okay.
And then
not that far.
Huh? Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say because I wanted to get to Fletcher.
You can keep going. Oh. I was just like thinking in my head, like, well, once you get to that point, you kind of ride the who's hot.
Yeah. I was just saying Stassi, then Duffy, and I would put Fletch 9th because the only reason why I say it is because last year we were advocating for him to be 9th in the beginning of the season because he couldn't find his swing. The moment they put him at 9th, magically he starts hitting like really good. Then injuries came. He became leadoff guy again, and he just shit the bed in September again. Yeah. So I'm hoping I don't agree with the Otani thing at leadoff. I mean, this is a guy that's going to hit you 40 to 50, maybe more homers if he doesn't participate in the All-Star game, home run derby. And he should not be leading off, dude. I mean, where the hell? Why?
I don't like it. I mean, he's fast. I get it. He's going to have good at bats. I get it. But I mean.
But even if you interchange those guys, you go Adele, Marsh, Trout, Otani, the first 4 guys, mix them up however you're going to do it or whatever, there's speed all right there. Those guys are all super fast.
Yeah, plus the thing with Otani is he doesn't have like constructive at-bats that are meant for a leadoff hitter.
Mm-hmm.
He has quick at-bats where he's trying to drive runs in.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be swinging for the fences or to pull the ball.
And he has a very violent swing.
He does. There should be a we should have a number of how many times he lost his helmet last.
We should. We'll work on it.
Yeah, because I mean, he averaged at least a few a week. That guy was swinging violently, dude. Only player I've seen to strike out like that where the helmet flies off in a long time. So
Yeah, but he also hits a lot of home runs, and he can throw 100 miles an hour. So
yeah, he can. Over under on wins for him this year, though. What do you think?
I'll give him 10.
10 wins?
Yeah, I think he'll be at 10 or slightly above.
Okay, so he's your leadoff guy and your opening day starter.
And last year's MVP.
Yeah.
Who almost hit 50 home runs.
Mm-hmm. It was weird.
And drove in 100 runs.
It was weird because both me and you before the All-Star break were average or were saying he was going to hit between 60 and 65. But
it was trending in that direction.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I'm not calling us out by any stretch of the imagination, because you and me both said last year that was a terrible idea, him in the home run derby, and lo and behold, his numbers fell off completely in the second half, as predicted, because we predicted he was going to hit about 60, 65 before that, but then we were like, hey, if he participates, this could really mess up his swing. We noted many players that have come before him and did the same crap. And look what happened. And so he could have finished the year with way better numbers, but his strikeout ratio was terrible in the second half.
Yeah, no home run derby this year.
Yeah, please no.
Except for Kurt Suzuki. If he makes it, I give him permission.
Maybe he'll have the opposite effect on his hitting.
Yeah, it'll do what happened to Juan Soto, where he woke up, remembered how to hit.
There you go. And I was claiming BS when he said that too. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. And look,
I don't know. I mean, it seemed to work.
Yeah, it worked.
It got better for him.
It did. So going into this season, obviously we're only a couple weeks out, and we'll break down probably next episode about the roster and who's going to do what. We'll have more predictions on what we feel where the players are going to wind up numbers wise. But are there any surprises or any disappointments moving forward here as we're almost wrapping up spring training? Hard to believe.
I don't think so. I think everything's been pretty fine so far. I mean, it'll be interesting if what happens when Noah comes up and, makes a major league start.
Mm-hmm.
Will Otani going to make another major league start before opening day? And will he find a swing before the season starts? I mean, I know he had that first pitch home run yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Saturday. So, if he can find a swing, then at that point, I don't think there's much to worry about. I mean, knock on wood. Well, I mean, I guess it's not jinxing it because as of this second, the team has been healthy. That's a statement. It's not a jinx.
Mm-hmm.
But, either way, I will knock on wood. But, I've actually been pretty pleased with what I've seen so far. There's been a couple of games like today, Sunday's game where the offense was pretty quiet. But overall, the offense is good. Pitching's been fine. Bullpen's been, shaky, but, it's spring training.
Yeah, and they brought up, I think, the games they've blown, I think they've lost like 2 or 3 games where they bring in like single A guys or rookie ball pitchers, and they just get lit up. But they've had leads going into those games because my dad was like, oh, boy, he lost today. I'm like, yeah, but they brought in guys that are not even close to making the roster. So you can't really judge them on that. You kind of got to judge the individual players up until that point. The wins and losses are whatever, dude. Nobody wins a playoff game or gets to a playoff game by any minor league stuff. So
actually, my fiance's dad said something actually pretty funny. He was like, you guys always win the Cactus League. Maybe this year you guys losing some games will work out for you guys. And it's true. We're always like one of the, first place in the Cactus League. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot. 2017, I think we won for like a week straight to start spring training.
We should have either a patch for that on our jersey, or we should have some sort of like little trophy.
Randy, design it.
Exactly.
Design the patch.
I think what Randy needs to design, or one of us, is we need a April is key, logo. April is by God the worst month of the year for the Angels outside of restarting the season after the All-Star break. The Angels have to get off to a good start this year, bro. what are your not expectations, but what do you think of April? Like, how many games do you think they have to be over 500 for us to lead into a good May?
I'm going to pull up the schedule here. Let's talk. So we start with the 4-game series against Houston,
Okay.
2 games with Miami, 4
Very
games with Texas,
Mm.
3 games with Houston, 3 games with Baltimore, 4 games with Cleveland, and then 3 with Chicago White Sox. What are you thinking?
Well, as I look at it here, that Astros series out to start is going to be pretty tough. Marlins always play a good April, so they're
Keep
not
in
gonna
mind, though, this is a different Astros team.
Yeah.
I understand it's Carlos Correa, but now we're at a point where they're starting to lose some key pieces repetitively.
I think we split with them.
Yeah, I can see that. I see that.
Yeah, 2 out of 4.
I think we win opening day.
Yeah, I think so too.
We'll talk about it like when we're getting close to the rosters being decided.
Mhm.
But I think opening day we win. I think Otani's going to go yeah, and I think he's going to pitch about 6 innings. No, probably about 5.5. It's only 90 pitches.
Okay. I think we either split or we go 4-2 in that first homestand.
Yeah, okay. I'll agree with 4-2. I'll agree with 4-2.
Okay, so 4-2 on that homestand. What do you think about the roads, the Texas two-step, Texas and Houston, the 7-game series or 7 games right there on the road?
I think we win 3 against Texas out of the 4.
Mhm.
And I think on the road Houston series, we'll probably lose that one.
So 2 out of 3 right there.
Yeah, I think we lose 2 out of 3 that series. But I think we win 3 out of 4 against Texas.
Okay, so 4-3, 4-3 right there, 4-2, so that would be 8-5.
So 2-1 versus the Orioles. And then, the Guardians should be an easy win, but we just never beat them, ever. So I'll go a split with Cleveland. And then we only got 2 days of the White Sox. So at least for that, I'll go split.
Okay. So
But I do think we lose that series.
Okay.
I think we're going to start off fairly slow. Not fairly slow, but I think we'll be around the 500 mark to end May.
All right, so you got us at 13-9 to end April. That's the record. That's not bad. I'd take that.
I mean, I think that's about fair.
Yeah.
What are you guessing realistically? And I'm trying to be realistic. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to be a Roger Lodge. Hey guys, we're gonna go undefeated in April. Why? Because Artie said so. Why, yes, Roger, I did, and I hope you enjoy that raise, which was a $100 gift card at the winery, restaurant and wine bar. Join us in their location in Tustin or their newest location in La Jolla.
Yeah, it's going to
UTC Mall.
Gonna turn into just a big infomercial.
That's just what he does.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't forget the 6 times a day that Roger plays the an earth dad, it's a home run.
Yeah.
He plays the little what is it? The intro, like
the sound bites and all that stuff.
Yeah, like, oh, Fisher at the buzzer. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's no need to throw all that stuff in there, but he does. And
it just matched like 20 minutes worth of the show.
Mm-hmm. There's very little content in that show, besides his John Stamos stories.
Did I tell you that I was roommates with John Stamos? I'm like, yes, bro. You tell us all the time. Yes, he was getting all the ladies and you weren't. We get it.
And I wonder why now, right?
Yeah. Right.
I actually think they're going to do one game better, 14-8.
Ooh, okay.
14-8. But if they hover around that 13-9, 14-8, I'm telling you, that's setting up for a good May. That gets you off to a good start. Because May, you're going to have the final 2 games of Chicago. You got Boston, you got the Nats, you got the Rays, you got the A's, the Rangers, the A's again, the Rangers, and the dreaded Blue Jays. Your pick to go to the World Series.
So let me ask you this with April real quick before we stray too far away, because you said 14-8.
Yeah, 14-8.
So what series do you think I'm wrong in predicting? Do you think it's Houston or do you think it's Cleveland?
I think it's Cleveland. I think.
Okay, you think we win the series there? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland's all that great.
Okay, but they never are. We always get our cheeks clapped by them.
That's true, but that's usually in Cleveland. It's usually in Cleveland. This one's at home, so
it is.
I'm giving them a little bit more credit on that one.
Okay.
The Texas one I'm leery about too because we since the 2 years that stadium's been open, not exactly played all that great in Texas, but
remember last year Adele made his debut in Texas for last season and did great, and I think we won that series.
Oh, okay, but didn't we lose early on? Because I know Texas.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, Texas was a reason in 2020 where we didn't make the playoffs. We lost too many games to them in Texas, so in the barbecue stadium. But yeah, it's
dude, their stadium, I hate it.
Really, I got to go to a game with you over there, man. I got to check that place out.
Yeah, I'll be there this week, so it'll be crazy because we have the WrestleMania party on Sunday, and the WrestleMania is obviously in Dallas this year. So, man, I'm wondering how crazy it's going to be. Like, do people care? Is there not going to be anybody? It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, we won't get too far into the season because we could probably do this next week.
Yeah. When we have a better understanding of the roster.
Yeah, because
is there anything we missed on the roster?
Well, obviously we don't have to talk about DH. We know who's DHing. Starting rotation.
Kurt Suzuki, yeah.
Yeah, there you go again, Kurt Suzuki.
Big Kurt Suzuki guy over here.
Watch out, dude. I'll get you a jersey. Man. Just saying.
Dude, if you get me a Kurt Suzuki jersey, I will wear it to the stadium. Dude, if you get me a Kurt Suzuki jersey, not only would I wear it to an Angels game, I travel the country all the time. So when I go to a different stadium, I will wear the Kurt Suzuki jersey. I will wear it. And don't get me wrong, I will also message you every couple minutes where my jersey is.
They're gonna be like, "Did you marry into his family or something?" I mean, there's nobody rocking a Suzuki jersey.
Dude, quote me on it. If anybody wants to give me a Kurt Suzuki jersey, I will wear it everywhere. I will wear it in New York. I will wear it in New Jersey. I will wear it in Virginia. I will wear it in Dallas. I will wear it in Chicago, Northern California. Everywhere I go, monthly for work, I will wear it around the country.
All right. Sounds good.
I will wear it on my honeymoon.
Oh. Okay.
I know Todd's like, and order.
Yeah,
Kurt Suzuki ordered. It'll be here in 6 weeks.
I know. 6 to 8 weeks, depending on COVID and restrictions.
6 to 8 minutes.
That people cannot understand. Anyway.
Come on, got it. Inside joke. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, they wouldn't get it. So one last question though, I have for you. Obviously we know Otani's number 1. We know Syndergaard's most likely your number 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of these 5 pitchers, who fills out the rest of your 6-man rotation?
Well, I mean, you have to go Sandoval 3. I understand he didn't have a good day today, but I mean, and today meaning Sunday.
Okay.
But, I mean, he kind of has to be number 3, right? I mean, do you disagree with that?
I don't. Because of his innings pitched last year, he was solid.
Okay, so, I mean, we got a 3. I would imagine by default, Lorenzen's going to get a spot. So I would probably put him 4. Because he does have a lot of major league experience. Whether it's as a starter or not, it is major league experience. So that gives me my 4. And then here's where it gets iffy. I keep wanting to say Detmers, but do you think Detmers makes a team out of camp?
I think he does. I think they're that high.
Even with the shaky last year he had?
I think they're just that high on him, dude.
Okay, so we're going him and Suarez. I'm going to go.
Okay.
I still put Suarez number 6.
That would give you 3 pitchers, 3 righties and 3 lefties. It's pretty even rotation right there. Jaime Bieri will be the odd man out.
He has been for a while.
Yeah, he's been a guy that you want him to make the best of his opportunities because I really would like him to make this squad and stay on the squad. But it just seems like he just keeps getting thrown in the fire, thrown back out, up and down. That's why I was advocating for him to get dealt.
Yeah, I view him as a trade piece.
Yeah. I don't even think he makes the bullpen, to be honest with you. Because
the bullpen's too stacked.
Yeah, and it's not good to bring a starter in and put him back in a bullpen spot. So I would think he'd be probably anchoring the Bees rotation.
Probably, yeah. And I mean, with Suarez, I'd put him 6 because of the simple fact of on the days where he could, rest because they only need 5 guys because they have enough off days,
Mm-hmm.
you can throw him in the bullpen for a couple days in case somebody, can't get out of a certain inning.
Yeah, Suarez is a very valuable piece that I don't think a lot of Angel fans appreciate. I think
Yeah, he's like a Swiss Army knife.
he's very good.
He can come out of the bullpen and he can start and do both of them effectively.
Now imagine if we get to the postseason, he'd be a pretty reliable arm.
Yep, I'm a big fan of El Demente. His little when he was mic'd up last year. El Demente. That was like one of my favorite sound clips ever.
Dude, and you know what? One thing I will say, seeing the interviews and the stuff that's been online and social media with the Angels, you bringing that up, the little bit of character. You're seeing a lot of character this year in this so far in the spring training.
Well, it's because they're trying. I mean, they had hey, who would you pick in Mario Kart?
No, I'm just saying, like,
who did our boy Ty pick? I think did he pick Toad? I think he
so,
picked Toad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of teams who are doing it, though. I mean, the Padres are doing it also. My Arizona Coyotes have been doing this for months. So I'm just going to say the Angels copied the Coyotes because, I mean, I need something at the Coyotes, man, besides losses.
Well, I mean, look, as long as they're out there showing that they, are not only they want to win, but they're showing, personality. I think that's something that's lacked in this team and charisma.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing that, I'm all for it, man. I'm pretty happy about that.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Grade Perry Manassian's offseason. Now that you've had some time to marinate, on the moves he's made.
I would give him either a C+ or an incomplete. I
really?
Yeah. Still, yeah, because I still think that they could have pulled a couple trades that really could have put this team far ahead of the Houston Astros, and that's hard to say in recent past. But like you mentioned, Houston's lost some very valuable pieces, but they still have a stacked team. I think the Angels are right there, just under competing with them. I think they should be just above Seattle. They're going to be, facing off of Seattle. I think that's going to be their team to look at to stay ahead of. But I mean, just one more starting pitcher, I think could, and a legitimate backup catcher, glaring issues could have put this team ahead of Houston, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree. But I'm not giving – I give them a B, a solid B. I mean, because of the bullpen. I mean, we went from an average bullpen to one of the best bullpens in baseball.
That's true.
And I understand talk is cheap. You could win a paper World Series, but on paper, it does look at least solid and serviceable. In theory, Joe Madden can't give it to a horrible option, unlike last year.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't agree. Like, I know on the Messenger you sent that video of that guy that was breaking down the AL West. I watched it the other day. I finally watched it.
Randy did.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, like I think he like crapped on the Angels a little too hard. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I didn't like his takes, so to speak. But
yeah, I agree.
He underestimated them. But hey, you know what? If they're underestimated for the first time in a long time, that's good, because there's been some seasons where they put rosters together not near this talent, and they were predicted to win the division or go far, and of course they didn't sniff the playoffs.
And you know what? I'm hoping that we're projected to go fourth in the division, because I don't think that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And B, like you said, this is the best team we've seen at least in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We might not have the big name starter, but there's a lot of guys who have upside. And, I don't mean like upside like, oh, well, Julio Teheran has upside. I mean young people upside who are brought up as Angels, who are in the farm system for a couple of years, who have earned and clawed their way up to the top. It's much different.
Yep. And when first time in a long time, like you said, we have a pipeline filled with players that are willing to come up and make moves and are making noise. So it's a lot to look forward to. So I think that's why our optimism on this page is very high going into the season, because we're looking to be playing some competitive ball.
And we're not Halo honks.
Yeah, we're not sitting here saying we're gonna win the division straight up. You can book it. It's Lodge's lock. Like we've
Presented by the winery.
and 7-1 for tickets, 7-1 for tickets, 7-1 for tickets. Go today, stay tonight, sit in the 600 level at Angel Stadium.
None of that's accurate, and the 600s don't exist, but it's fine. Whatever.
Well, that's where
This isn't Dodger Stadium.
that's where the blind date seats are on the 600 level. That is on the roof.
Oh, it's for Roger. Oh, is Roger there?
Roger's here. Roger's live in the flesh.
I'm out
Riding my Huffy all the way down Lakewood Boulevard
with John Stamos.
with John Stamos riding on the pegs on the back of the bike.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else on that note?
No, I think that's it. Unless you want to talk some more John Stamos, I think we're done.
Hey, I can always talk John Stamos. I've been brainwashed to like him.
Yeah. You're snoring. You're like, John Stamos.
That was like every mom in the early 2000s.
Yeah. They're all in their 50s and 60s now. They're like, oh, John Stamos is a looker.
They're still like John Stamos.
Yeah. Dude hasn't changed.
No,
Jeez.
he doesn't age.
You ever see
How the saying goes, John Stamos don't crack.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what the saying goes. But
Well, you could use it. I saw him in North Hollywood one time. And it was the funniest thing because you ever run into a celebrity where you make eye contact with a celebrity or a athlete, and they give you that look like they acknowledge you, you acknowledge them, but they're like, please don't come and talk to me. Like kind of look. Well, I saw John Stamos outside of a Bank of America ATM, and I looked at him and I was about to say, dude, you're John Stamos. And I'm like, don't say it, Todd. And then he gave me that look, and we kind of just locked eyes, and I was like, gave him okay. And I just walked away, and I think he appreciated that.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's my John Stamos story.
That's fair. I'm normally pretty cool, calm and collected on celebrities.
Yeah, there you go. You can't be too what is it called? Fanboy.
I mean, I've already met so many.
Oh, okay. Look at you. Not to brag.
Well, remember, I worked at SeaWorld. I worked at Legoland.
Oh, yeah. You saw a lot of people come and go.
I saw a lot of them. I mean, athletes. I've met a lot of angels. You know what I mean? The only person I think I've ever been not even a blabbering fool. I was pretty quiet. Was Tim Tebow.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty you want to sign this? Can you sign this? Can you sign this jersey? That was really about it. Everyone else, I was like, hey, yo, Simba. Hey, yo, Calhoun. Hey, yo, Trout. 5 times. Can you sign this ball? I was like, okay.
But Tebow, you were fanboy, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, certain players, I think
it's because I was worried he was going to beat me up.
Yeah, that's a huge worry of people that run into Tebow.
That's fair.
That he's A, going to beat them up, or B, take their girlfriend. One of the two.
I mean, number 2 might happen.
Well, yeah, the girl might take him, but he ain't going to take the girl. He's got values.
That's apparently, sure.
All right, so I think that's it, right, for today?
Yep, that's it. We've already embarrassed ourselves enough.
Got it. So for Todd Fox
and Artie Moreno,
have a good night, day, whatever you're doing.